From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, some 38 minutes ago.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, oh, so proudly we hailed at the twilight that's gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets break the land of Mossburg, singing yeah, through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the
Hey everybody, Joe Dog with Stupid O'Clock. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Just thought I'd try something a little special for tonight because it's Thanksgiving, and why not? So let me go ahead and bring in Dan and Rich. Of course, Rich missed the opening.
Rich was finishing carving the turkey.
It was Tony Couture doing the national anthem performance at Super Bowl, where Chris Stapleton sang the national anthem. And, Carl's asking, was that an older intro or new one? I think that was our original one, but since that ran so long, I had to put something short in there. Oh, excuse me. So how did everybody's dinner go?
Quite well. we weren't going to have it originally until tomorrow, and my sister decided that she wanted the traditional turkey dinner, and they only offered that on Thanksgiving Day itself. So we changed plans. My brother Stephen wasn't able to make it, but there were 10 of us around the table. So,
And yeah, Cracker Barrel Thanksgiving.
hey,
It's hey
that's the closest any restaurant has ever got to
a
my
real
family's home cooking.
yeah. I ended up with chicken dumplings, macaroni and cheese, mashed potatoes, and sweet potato casserole. And it tasted like the sweet potato casserole had maple syrup in it.
That was
I have seen some
real.
sweet potato recipe that calls for, and they're Southern recipes. And I'm like, really? That's weird. Um, because I was looking on how to do the sweet potatoes for Misty, because Misty loves the sweet potatoes. I personally used to not be able to stand them. Now I can deal with them a little bit. And every year since Mom passed, I have a little bit for Mom because it was one of my mom's favorite pieces in the meal.
Oh, same here, same here.
Oh, Carl. Uh, yes, it was Mama's choice to go to Cracker Barrel. Uh, like I said, it's the closest to our family's home cooking that any restaurant has been able to accomplish. Don't think she was happy with the green beans, but then Mama gets picky at 85 years old and been cooking for all her life. So,
Well, restaurant green beans also tend to be hit or miss anyway.
yeah, I think they were just a little bit overdone for what Mom likes. So, I mean, they were all
Green
right.
beans, you do them in a small batch, you get them perfect every freaking time.
Mhm.
Too big of a batch, you're,
Yeah,
it's a roll of dice.
it's like army cooking. If you're trying to feed 1,000 people, there's no way you're going to get everything just right.
Oh yeah. And I just heard from Zach. He had an internet rud.
Oh dear.
He says he'll be back just as soon as he gets the
The backup booster ready?
new router hooked up.
Ah,
I'm sure Rich
Yeah.
has had a router or two rud on him against a wall.
Never against a wall. Never against a wall. Um, Usually I wait until I have the replacement, and I have been known to drop a couple off the roof.
And help him on the way down.
Uh, I saluted them on the way down with one
Oh,
finger.
my sister got up to take a picture after the meal just before we got up to leave, and she goes, "Hey, hey, everybody, quiet down! I'm fixing to take a picture." I looked over at the rest of the table. And go, "Hey, okay, now's our chance. Everybody, flipper the bird." My family is that kind of family.
My
Okay.
family's that kind of family too, especially on Thanksgiving when there's a bird involved.
Okay. Since we're talking Thanksgiving, what side of the turkey has the most feathers?
The outside.
Yep. What?
Nothing.
And it's like I associate with these two willingly. What the hell's wrong with me?
No, no. I'm just sitting here thinking, yeah, Joe Dog's spirit animal is actually Loki.
No, I thought it was a jackass.
The other day I realized
There
my
may
spirit
not be a
animal is a
difference
bastard
between
love
the
child
two
of a polar bear and an
sometimes.
otter.
Say what, Rich?
I realized the other day that the my spirit animal would be the bastard love child of a polar bear and an otter.
Okay. What? What's its name?
Just Misty and I were trying to figure out whether we want to get our membership back to the Brookfield Zoo or the Shit Aquarium. And I'm like, I don't care. Two of my favorite animals are at either location, polar bears at the zoo and otters at the aquarium. And then I'm sitting there thinking about otters and polar bears. I'm like, oh my God, I am like the bastard love child of both these animals. Large, lumbering, and mischievous as all hell.
I guess I'm just an otter
Mm,
or chipmunk.
they taste good with gravy.
It was about my old house. But we had a mutant groundhog that was wider than both my dogs side by side. And I have fat dogs. Um, Granted, they're min pins, they're smaller dogs, but still, it's like, how does that thing squeeze its fat ass under my shed? There was a mutant squirrel that I saw walking on the fence out of the corner of my eye. I thought it was my cat until I made a comment, and then the cat was standing next to me in the kitchen and meowed at me, and I'm like, the hell? And took a good look, and it was a squirrel. And there was a chipmunk that was about as wide as one of my dogs.
And I thought stuff was weird when we lived up near Oak Ridge.
Y'all must have fed them well up there.
I'm a stone's throw from Chicago, and maybe it's something that they're putting out in the way. I mean, I'm not that far from any of the mills, so who knows what kind of weird shit ends up in the water that comes back down.
What river was it that they diverted part of one of the Great Lakes in just to flush the pollution out to the Gulf of Mexico?
You'll have
Well,
to
if it's flushing
Google that
something
one.
all the way, if it's trying to flush something all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico, I would assume the Mississippi or the Ohio.
May have been the Ohio. It was so polluted that, it caught fire.
That was the Cuyahoga River caught fire. Randy Newman has a song about that.
I think the Hudson did too a couple times, didn't it?
Well, that could be. Oh, my sister-in-law told me today that within the last couple of weeks, she and my brother actually visited Michigan. I'm going, why?
Because the snow hasn't fallen yet, and it's still pretty.
Oh, Lord. They've been traveling all over for the
Michigan is 20 minutes that way.
They've been traveling all over for the what is the Mason's Lodge thing that they're in, Southern Star, and they're talking about they've got to hit up 3 or 4 states here in the U.S. A couple for fun, a couple for the lodge, and then my brother's talking about he wants to go back to Scotland. And my sister-in-law says, yeah, I had to pretend to be a vegetarian there so I wouldn't have to eat English breakfasts because there was no way she was going to eat blood sausage and pork and beans and whatnot with the scrambled egg. And I'm going, oh, my sweet summer child. I bet you got out of eating haggis too. There is nothing wrong with the full English, believe me.
Hey, I would try haggis once. Oh, Dan can back me up on this. There was a guy that goes around to the steampunk conventions that has this little thing on his dealer's table. And for $1, he'll show you the strangest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yep.
And for $1, you pay him the $1, he reaches in and has a little string to pull to open the curtains, and it's vegetarian haggis.
So a carrot inside a yam inside a cabbage or something?
I don't know.
No,
It
that'd be
was
like
just,
a vegetarian turducken.
it was just a photograph. Believe me, I gave him $1. I found out.
No,
I
he
even
had
had
the
the.
can. He had
Oh,
the
he had the
can.
can. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got the little badge that says I've seen the strangest thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Of course, I bet him double or nothing. He goes, all right, what? I pulled it up. I used to have it saved on my phone. It was a can of caffeine-free Diet Mountain Dew.
What's wrong
I
with
bet
that?
I bet Strobel just freaked out over that one. Yeah, Charles Strobel is the name of the guy that has this little exhibit.
Yeah, he went, huh? You went.
Oh, one of the nicest guys you will ever meet.
Okay, he's on my Facebook. Okay, now I know who he is.
Yeah.
I've got friends on my Facebook page. I've got no damn clue who they are. And they said, and then they comment like, it's great seeing you at the convention. I'm going, what are you?
Really, yeah.
But yeah, Zach, the thing is, Mountain Dew is known for its caffeine and its sugar content.
I love me some Mountain Dew.
Well, there's a reason why it's the rocket fuel of programmers.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes more sense now.
Oh, and Rich, did you see my new stuffed animal back here? It's Bucky Claus. I'm gonna have to get me an Easter Bucky next year.
Let's not break Rich, okay?
Too late.
Yeah, too late. Someone just did.
What happened?
Flipping through Facebook, I see a post by Brian Rodman. It says, "Who did this?" And obviously, there was a staircase there at some point in time that was removed, except for like 6 inches that still has a banister going up this wall. It's like, why not just tear the entire thing down and no.
Budget cuts.
It probably would have been cheaper to tear the entire thing down than to half-ass it like that.
Obviously, it was an industrial job.
Managerial oversight. That's what it is.
Maybe they had intentions of putting the staircase back.
It looks like it was recently recarpeted too. With carpet on the stairs.
Oh, that is now 6 inches wide.
Have you seen the hotel lobby with the reading nook on the second floor with 2 chairs and a table and a bookcase? But there's no way to get to it.
Unless you got a jetpack. I've been to that hotel several times. Oh.
Okay, heat works. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh.
That was a non sequitur.
Yeah, I got up early today to start the turkey. Felt like it was thawed, so I'm like, okay, I don't have to put it in the defrost mode, so I don't have to cook it for 7 hours. A couple hours later, when I go to debag it and put it in the thing, yeah, there's still ice in the center cavity. I'm like, son of a. So dinner was only delayed about an hour and a half or so because it was mostly thawed, and it turned out well.
Good.
Made mom stuffing again.
Yeah, I saw your post about that. The house smelled amazing, you said.
Oh yes, it smelled like Thanksgiving.
That's always a good feeling.
Yeah, I took lead on all the hard stuff, and then Misty got to do the um, uh, asparagus and the mashed potatoes and reheating the gravy because I'm not making gravy from scratch. Screw that, too far. I'm too lazy.
That's the
Um,
best gravy.
It is.
It
It is.
is.
It's so simple. You heat up the milk, you throw in some flour, stir it up, a little salt and pepper.
But with the way we've got everything set up, getting the drippings from the turkey without actually taking the turkey out of the roasting pan, because we actually have a little electric roaster that sits on the counter that we cook it in. It just makes it way more difficult to get that because we keep forgetting to buy a turkey baster every freaking year.
Well, it's Black Friday. Now's your time to do it.
Post-it note. Buy a turkey
I just
baster tomorrow morning.
I just got to make sure I don't buy one that's been used. Who knows what's been in it?
Yeah, you don't get your turkey basters at the thrift store.
Yeah. Goodwill is a bad place to shop for anything but cast iron cooking implements because you can clean those.
Or electric skillets. Electric skillets are good to get there too.
Yeah, but with cast iron, you can heat it up hot enough that it destroys all life upon it.
And that's how you make good cornbread, folks. You got to let it cool down before you put the batter in. Otherwise, it turns into what's that thing from England? The
Johnny cakes?
Yorkshire pudding. Those you've got to get everything real hot and then drip it in and take it out right then because it's done. As soon as it hits the grease, it flash fries.
Yeah,
Those are good. Those are good.
While I was at Cracker Barrel, I did look at the Lodge cast iron.
I did too, with longing in my heart and knowing my wife would hit me with one if I spent that kind of money
Oh yeah,
on stuff we've already mostly got.
there's John Stutz. John is somebody I went to high school with. Let's just not say how many years ago.
You have our sympathy.
Let's hope
Merry
you have a
Christmas.
great day.
John, you have our sympathy.
Gee, thanks.
I can't imagine you were less of a smartass when you were younger.
Believe it or not, no, I developed this in the last 15 years.
How long have I known you?
About 15 years.
Sounds about right.
I learned from the best, Dan. I learned from the best.
I know that's why there's still a warrant.
What was the reaction on the gift, Dan?
Which gift?
The gift.
Uh,
Unless it hasn't happened yet.
1 second.
I don't think anything's happened yet as far as gifts go. No, we took Mom out for dinner and
Lindsay's gift.
well,
I love the look of confusion on Dan's face.
really,
I get that look every time I talk to him.
You could
Yeah.
use this.
her birthday ain't till next month, and she's already our anniversary was one of our anniversaries was in early October.
How many anniversaries do you have?
Right now 3 with this one wife. The anniversary where we first met in the flesh, the anniversary where we got married legally, and the anniversary of renewing our wedding vows.
Oh.
Good grief. Hold on.
Okay, good. It's not an anniversary like my aunt's second marriage where the pastor forgot to sign the license. They found out 2 weeks later and had to go get remarried at the courthouse.
Mm.
Oh, okay, Carl. Now I understand. Yes, Lindsay was going to be mad, or at least I thought so, because I bought her a new iPad to do stuff with the HallowCon vending with and run the Square card reader. And right now, Carl, she is deathly afraid to take it out of the box and finish setting it up. I set it up partially, and she gave me her little black book of passwords and whatnot for all her accounts, and trusted me not to go and look at her OnlyFans or whatever it was. I don't know. I didn't look, but it's in the box right now. I got onto her about not taking it out and using it instead of using her cell phone where she got a postage stamp size screen to look at. And she goes, "Oh no, but I'm afraid I'll break it." And I'm going, "Honey, it was 50% off. Don't be afraid. It's an iPad. Just don't swat spiders with it. It'll be all right."
And don't take it in the bathtub.
No,
I dealt with
please.
too many of those.
Don't take what in the bathtub?
An iPad?
Any sort of technology. I had to deal with that in like once a weekend at the fruit stand. The best part is the ones that we could save, and one of our technicians would recover, and it would turn back on and connect to our Wi-Fi because they had bought it at our store and set it up, and resume whatever it was doing when it got lodged in the water at full volume inside a mall, inside a store with 500 people in it. Yep. I wish it was that.
You might want to buy some headphones, dude.
Yeah. That happened too many times.
No, and she knows she's got to learn how to use it. She's got to go ahead and finish setting it up so it's her iPad and not just a thing that has no personality or flair or whatsoever. But she's putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. So,
well, she's got a year to be ready for HallowCon.
Well, it's just she never expected to get another iPad. She wouldn't let me buy her one. She hadn't killed the first one. It just got old. It wasn't all that new when she first got it.
It worked, but it didn't work as nice.
Yeah.
This should work nice. It's a Generation 9. And about the only addition I would put to it is to be able to find a Bluetooth keyboard that'll go with it. I've got one that fits my iPad. Ooh, how did that get? There we go. I got one that fits my iPad that has a nice waterproof keyboard, which I should have used a lot more often than I did. But I've got one of those sitting back here still in the box.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, Dan,
Yeah, I know. I recommend those to people. I love those. I love those. You can have up to 3 different computers Bluetooth to the same keyboard, and those include iPads and phones. And
I've got my tablets, my old computer, and my phone. Slave to that one.
I just had. I've replaced the one that I last spilled a beer over, and by the time it arrived, I'd already got the fancy light up in the dark hardware keyboard that I've got plugged up right now to a VLM not a VLM.
KVM?
KVM. Thank you. Yes. Keyboard, monitor, and mouse, or yeah, whatever. And click of a button, and I go between the two computers that I use and whatnot. I've got the other one sitting there in the box. I hear a TARDIS in the background.
Yes, Saturday.
It is.
It's also the 60th anniversary.
Yes, it is. The actual anniversary. Although the next new episode is not supposed to come out until
New Year's.
no, Saturday.
Oh,
2
Saturday.
days from now. Yeah. You've
Oh.
got
There's supposed to be 3 between now and the end of the year.
Yep. Well, 4 if you count the Christmas episode. So you got this week, next week, and the week after for the specials, and then Christmas Day. There's the opening episode of the 15th Doctor.
Yeah.
Shooty's first episode.
Yep, Shooty Gatwa.
Well, I hear Neil Patrick Harris is the new master.
Nope.
No, the toy maker or something like that.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
A villain from the Hartnell era.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And evidently that's in the 3rd special.
Yeah, I watched Dead Planet on Tubi today, which is the current first episode of season 1, while the original writers
yes,
showing his ass.
yeah. The one you watched was the first episode of the first Dalek serial.
Yep, it was the second serial. So,
yep. Kind of hope that the original scriptwriter for the first story will just stop with this stuff. I mean, he's not going to get a huge fortune from the BBC over his dad's work.
It's and apparently he only does this during the anniversary years.
Oh,
because apparently he tried this during the 50th as well.
Well,
he tried it with over something else, but yeah, it was trying to sue for copyright or trademark on the TARDIS.
Yep. And
that's like the woman that inherited the rights to the movie Gone in 60 Seconds. She and
she tries to snatch up everyone's car that names their car Eleanor. That 67 Shelby. They name it Eleanor.
Yeah.
Yep. And Carl, you're exactly right. Yes, it's the son of the actual scriptwriter.
Yeah. Now the thing is, she it was a 67 Shelby with some modifications that Shelby did for the movie. It's Shelby's car with Shelby's parts. She sued Shelby for building another car.
She's tried to sue a couple of private individuals as well and got laughed out of court.
Well, yeah, now, since then. But when she sued Shelby, Ford got on Shelby's side and said, wait a minute. What kind of car is this? She said, it's a 1967 Ford Shelby Cobra. Did you have permission to use our name? So it's basically, she now has to return all these cars that she's had crushed.
Hopefully in their original condition, which will cost her a lot of money.
Yes.
You had them crushed?
Yes.
That unbelievable. See you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now she has to replace these cars with, in the condition that came back, or pay them what they have invested.
And some of them have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in these cars.
Well, not that much, but
Oh, I was thinking as a collective.
yeah. She's probably owes $1 million to these other people. I'm like, oh damn. And the one guy that really got the ball kicking is he took a 2016 Ford Mustang and put the 67 Ford body on it. So it had all the bells and whistles of a 2017 Shelby in the 67 body. She waited until he released the painting video.
Some people are entirely too greedy for their own good.
Yeah.
And cheaters never prosper.
No. Yeah, Rich is looking it up now.
Yeah. And about the first Doctor Who story, the guy is trying to solicit money with threats from the BBC. The joke is on him. Most of the people that have been fans for a long time already own copies, and he's not going to get them from us.
Yeah, apparently he put a copy of a DVD of Unearthly Child up on an auctioning site for like £500, and he took it down immediately as soon as people figured out it was him. And then what the hell was I about to say? Oh, you can tell the BBC is not worried about it, and the BBC is confident because they're not saying a damn thing. They're not scrambling. Everything is business as usual, which means their lawyers are in the background going, "We got this."
Mm-hmm.
And isn't Charles a Doctor Who fan?
He claims that he is, but he's more of a money fan.
Could you imagine what would happen if the King of England says, "You have nothing to stand on. It belongs to the BBC," which means it belongs to me.
That would be a take, yes.
Rich, I think your door just opened.
Probably a cat or a dog looking for me.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, in essence, doesn't the king own BBC?
The country owns BBC.
Okay.
Now you could probably debate whether or not the royal family owns the country. Don't know if that one would fly in court, but I do believe that members of parliament would have a good case towards owning the country.
Yeah.
It was established under a royal charter, the BBC.
Okay.
And operates under an agreement with the Secretary of State for Culture, Media, and Sport. and it's funded by its own television license thing, which is just so bizarre.
Yes, it is. They actually have vans that drive around and check to see whether or not you've got a functioning TV set in your house, and if you haven't paid the fees, even if you only use it to watch pre-recorded movies and don't have any cable or antenna or anything else, you're going to have to pay those licensing fees. So
The
that does
government
sound
picks
weird.
the fee, though. The British government and Parliament. British government picks the fee, and it's agreed on in Parliament. But I guess I don't know what a royal charter is, but royal
It's-
something.
So
It's
I
like a-
guess I
It's like
guess
a treaty.
I guess large screen computer monitors sell pretty good over there.
I haven't the faintest idea. Um,
I
every
mean,
com- every computer monitor I saw when the last time I was over there was 2011 was normal, small size, and not hooked up to any kind of TV tuner or whatever. So I haven't the faintest idea.
well, it is not a TV. It is my 75-inch computer monitor.
The thing is, you
Ooh.
still have to pay the license fee if you want to even stream. Because you can't use like ITV Player, BBC Player, any of that if you don't have a BBC licensing.
Got to buy a BBC license for my iPad. Okay.
Yeah, that's the part that's weird. Is that that's gonna have to fade out at some point.
It probably will, and fade is the word. It'll be a gradual phasing out.
Maybe George will get rid of it.
Well, we only have to survive Charles for 5 more years. We've
Why?
survived just over a year. We only got 5 more.
What, do you think he's going to abdicate at 80?
Supposedly, a lot of people in the royal group that work for him have said that he and William have an agreement that at 80 he will abdicate and William become king, because Charles does not believe in dying at your post. He believes similar to the last pope, which is if you can't actually do the duty, you shouldn't hold it. And supposedly the only reason he took it is, 1, he wanted to be king, but 2, he didn't think William was ready.
Well, I'll agree with him there. William still needs some real world experience, and
so he's training William a lot. Like, William's been all over the world more than the king has since the coronation. So
yeah,
And
Charles got a lot of training.
now here's something something to think about. You know, Archie has an American citizenship
yeah,
as a natural born American.
yep.
There's a possibility that the King of England and the
No.
President of the United States, you don't even want to talk about it, huh?
Nope. That part of the family is not part of the royal family anymore.
Well, they're still related.
Yeah, but they made their decisions.
Mm.
They have to live by them. I will hold the stance that the Queen had when she died.
Which
They
was
made a choice. They lost their titles. They moved to America. They are not royal.
well, of course they're not royal, which means Archie can run for president.
The thing is, he is, because of a stupid rule on some parchment roll, when Charles became king, Harry's kids got their titles back by default.
Ah,
So, and they're still, I mean, Harry is still technically in the line of succession, but supposedly she's hired a divorce attorney and he's called home being like, can I come home and resume my duties? So we'll see what happens. But there's a lot of people that would have to disappear for that line of succession to ever get touched. So,
well, I'm talking about President of the United States.
Oh, that'd be even worse.
No, we've had worse.
Oh, but then Harry?
Yeah.
What even is his last name? Do we even know? Harry Regina or something?
I don't know. But have you ever seen the story about Diana's horse trainer?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
There is question of Harry's lineage.
Oh, yeah.
And if you take a look at the horse trainer, it's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Windsor.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Carl. Windsor.
That's the one, yes.
That's the family name. Yes.
I don't know why I didn't think of it. That's a Ford engine.
Well, used to be Plantagenet, but they kind of changed it a long time ago. Oh, genealogy of royal families all over Europe and England is one of those things that gives people nightmares. It's so complicated. It's easier to write a spreadsheet than it is to figure out who's actually related to whom.
Yeah. Oh, have you ever seen the video that if George Washington had chosen to be king, the current king of America lives in Texas? It's
Probably
his.
has no clue.
Yeah, he does. He knows exactly.
I just think it's a shame that Emperor Norton didn't have any kids.
Emperor Norton.
Norton the First, Emperor of California and Protector of Mexico. He actually proposed to Queen Victoria after Albert died.
Ah. Okay.
Emperor Norton is a fascinating character. A lot of people are just absolutely besotted with his significance in history.
Then you also have, in modern times, the Queen of Canada.
Who?
I don't remember her name. She is some weird sodsit nutbag who tried to have her followers arrest an entire police force in a town for not following her edicts during the vaccine mandates in Canada.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I just Googled. I know who you're talking. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess currently they're holed up in a schoolhouse somewhere.
Oh, she was ousted 2 days ago.
Ah.
But she hasn't gone far.
I hear there's a issue down the hall. I'll be right back.
You got to leave before you can come right back.
I'm not even going to ask.
Oh, but you are.
I gotta piss, all right?
So just say you're taking a bio break. The astronauts say it on air.
He's got to say a man about a horse.
I did not need to know that. I didn't want to know what the issue down the hallway was.
No, mission control, cameras external, bio break. AKA, turn my camera off.
Evidently, his hail pail is not working. Or the pod catheter either. Oh, that's the first time you've heard those two terms?
I just don't want to think about astronauts wearing catheters in any means.
Depends on the type of catheter. If it's a Texas catheter, it's no big deal.
I will go to the bathroom the way God intended, and that is the only way.
Texas
Off the front
catheter is
porch?
basically a condom with a hose coming off the end.
Oh, okay, yeah. I should sue. I designed one of those for a novel. Unfortunately, the ladies' version was nicknamed the Sandbox, so I didn't design that one. It didn't have any female characters that were talkative enough to describe it, so I didn't have to actually design the darn thing for the book. Oh.
So
Actually,
sleepy.
I think I stole the idea from Larry Niven in the first place, so I couldn't have copyrighted it anyway.
So what, Rich?
What?
You
What?
said so as if you had a train of thought.
I said so sleepy.
Uh,
Too many
turkey,
carbs.
turkey will do it to you.
Turkey and dressing, yep.
Oh, I got a good one. What's the difference between dressing and stuffing?
Oh, that's easy.
Well, I want to hear Rich's.
Kind of hard to do one while you're doing the other. I'll see myself out.
Stuffing
No,
is
up here. The difference is stuffing is in the bird, dressing is on the side.
But what if it was in the bird and now it's come out?
It's
It
still
was
stuffing.
because it was stuffed in the bird at one point in time.
Well, now it's a stuffed dressing.
yeah. Stuffing
So
is made on the stove. Dressing is made in the stove.
In the stuff. What?
Oven, stove, oven.
Stuffing implies that it was actually inside the turkey while it was being baked. Dressing is baked separately, even though it's the same mix.
So in my house growing up, we actually had both.
Yep.
So I usually just call it stuffing. Just because I'm lazy.
That's why stovetop stuffing is a misnomer. It should be stovetop dressing, unless you actually put it inside.
Doesn't it say dressing on it?
Well, it was stuffed in a box.
In a bag, too. It was stuffed in a bag, in a box, in a bigger box of the smaller boxes, probably in a bigger box, and then onto a pallet that was stuffed into a semi on a plane.
None of those involved actually being inside a bakeable avian.
I mean, have you been inside the cargo plane? They get pretty warm.
Have any of y'all seen
some
those?
people's turkey that a semi would probably be a little bit tastier to consume.
Zach, are you sure you're not related to my family?
I don't know.
I made the remark today that why is it that nobody in my family is very comfortable with the idea of being incorrect about anything at any time?
Have y'all seen the videos where they cook the chicken inside the turkey and then let the girls cut it open?
Yes.
Oh my God. It had a baby. It was pregnant. And we cooked it.
Yeah, well, they should have refilmed another one with the chicken inside the duck inside the turkey. What is this, a feathery tribble?
Oh, Dan, have you ever seen the
Cthulhu Mythos version of that? Yes, I have.
No, the story of how tribbles came about?
I'm sure I have. I just don't remember.
Tribbles are a genetically modified Federation creature from a rogue biologist.
Nope, I did not ever know that.
It's
No wonder they were targeting the Klingon Empire. They were a terror weapon.
no. Let me find it. I'll post it to Stupid O'Clock.
Okay. Damn. I am not
Oh,
used to my hair being so flat. Evidently, I used entirely too much conditioner when I washed my hair today. So, you mean 2 handfuls was too much? I don't know. Apparently. Yeah, Carl, they don't understand eggs. Yeah. Oh, evidently, Mom went down to the basement to do some laundry here last week and found a snake crawling across the floor. So she picked up a rubber mallet and beat it to death because she didn't know what kind of a snake it was. If she had realized it was a harmless snake, she probably would have got one of those grabbers and tossed it back out in the yard. Um, oh dear.
I would have burnt the house down.
Yeah, I had to come home from work one day because there was a snake in the kitchen, and Lindsay was freaking out. I picked up the grabbers. I took one look at it and I go, head's the wrong size to be poisonous. I don't see any rattles. The markings are not anything that I recognize from the three venomous species that are available in the southeast. And I went, harmless. Clamp. Took it out to the woods. Whoop.
No,
Set it free.
no.
Oh, I won't make that remark. People might be arachnophobic. Soap editing is a thing. Let's just say anyone with the fear of spiders should not get in the crawl space underneath of my house.
come on.
Carl, the answer is not a Canadian one.
Carl. Okay. I don't know which actual cellular provider is most affordable. I use TrackPhone, and they piggyback off of everybody else. And my phone costs me $200 a year for unlimited service, text, um, calls, internet. That's it. $200 a year.
Yeah, Misty and I use Total by Verizon, um, Walmart brand of, but again, it's built off the TrackPhone line and stuff like that. So TrackPhone's the parent company. This is just the branch that dedicates more towards Verizon lines. For Misty, me, and Crow, it's $85 a month for unlimited call, text, and data. Their two-person plan, I believe, is $60 again for the unlimited call, text, and data. But we've got three people, so we go with that. So
Yeah. I get a lot of people that are trying to sell me some cell service in the middle of my grocery store to say, thank you very much, have a good day, when I tell them how much I actually pay for what I got. Um, I've been with them for almost as long as Lindsay and I've been married, so 15, 16 years. And it's affordable. It does everything I want it to do, but I don't want it to do that much. See, I'm one of those people where a cell phone is a phone, a camera, and a device to send and receive texts, and not much else. I'll check Facebook or Messenger, or occasionally I might look up a web page if I'm trying to get the address and type it into a real computer, but that's about it. I don't want to say that I'm a Luddite. I will say that I actually had a class in how to answer and make calls on a house phone when I was in the second grade in East Tennessee, because telephones were just coming into widespread use at that time. Sort of like electricity had not completely come into widespread use at that time. And this was the 60s.
Dan, was it you that was telling me a story that your grandma said if they want to send that in here, I'll unscrew the light bulb and just let it run all on the ground.
No, that wasn't me, but it does sound like something one of my grandmothers would say. Uh, now, I had relatives who had just gotten electricity, and the house had been standing since the mid to late 1800s. So when electricity came in, they just stapled drop cords to the walls and across the ceiling, and had a pull cord from the light fixture.
Yeah.
But they also cooked on a coal burning stove in the kitchen. No, Mr. Bachman, I am not a tricorder theorist. No, by any way, shape, or form.
Wrong
My
joke.
wife uses the darn thing for a computer. I don't. I have
That was Jody
computers.
McPhee, not Joe Bachman.
Oh, okay. You're right. I misread that. I'm sorry, Jody. I was not paying sufficient attention. My fault entirely. Oh, so many people use titles nowadays. It's kind of like an episode of Doctor Who. Can't keep track of all the Time Lords. Oh, Lord. Arr.
All right, I found it.
Okay.
Uh, all right, I just posted it into Stupid O'Clock, Dan. You need to watch this.
Later.
Yeah. Oh.
I'll have to do it on the computer, because every time I go to Stupid O'Clock on the iPad, I have to switch accounts to get back to my own.
Oh, I know. I hate that.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Oh.
It is what it is.
So, Zach, did ESA blow up one, or did they actually run the full duration?
They say they ran the full duration. I don't know if they don't know how to count to 8 minutes, but that didn't look like 8 minutes to me.
It was more like 5 minutes.
Just over 7. Just over.
Maybe they're like cowboys. They think 8 seconds is a long ride.
Well, I also don't understand why we've never had this issue before, but we had a we were running a 7-second video delay from the audio. And I was like, well, that's odd. That's not like because they've done live streams from this place before, and they're hosted out of Paris. The host's not even in French Guiana. So I don't know if someone forgot to add the time delay on his audio or what happened, but it was very hard to watch and count down because it was like, okay, the audio, he's like T minus 30 seconds. The engines will ignite at T minus 7 seconds, but we're also hearing him 7 seconds earlier than what we're seeing. But the clock is right because they've offset the clock. So the clock is going to say T minus 14 seconds when it ignites. It was a lot. And then they had no microphone at the test stand, so we heard nothing. You were watching a super powerful engine fire away and gimbal like crazy, and nothing. Yeah.
Leave it to the French.
I appreciate them doing it. I fought for them to do it. Jay and I sent a number of emails talking to them about doing it because they said they weren't going to. And we asked them a number of times very politely, and they said, fine, we'll reconsider. And here we go. We had a live stream. So I will take 0.0001% credit that we had one. But I will take 0 credit for the quality of it. Yeah. They also had a hold that we still don't understand, and the hold was like an hour long.
Yeah, that's why I told you, Zach, I'll see you later. I'll talk to you tonight.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know if you responded to that or not, but
There we go.
I can't remember if I said something or not, honestly. I think I did. I've been in Black Friday prep mode all day, so.
well, I was just thinking, who is this Joe Dog that's going to talk with Zach later tonight? Is there some show or is there something going on?
People in the chat will be, they're always confused, though.
I like to keep it that way. That's Dan.
The chat likes being confused.
If you want a straight answer, don't ask Joe Dog. Ask Chris or John.
Hey, you ought to see the look on their face when I changed the plans of opening ceremonies during opening ceremonies.
Why?
Because I don't like what I had set up before.
And you discovered that while you were doing it?
Yeah.
Pretty much in the middle, yeah.
I changed horses midstream. And
closing ceremonies was a little weird too.
Yeah. Hey, when I say, yeah, I'm going to do something a little different here, you ought to see the look of terror come across people's faces. Usually my staff. Skunk's going, do I need to know this? Now, don't worry about it, Skunk.
You remember, Joe Dog, you want to keep the staff.
Yeah, I keep the staff.
They're used to him by now.
Chained to a cubicle.
But yeah, it's fun. I'll tell you off air what my password is for some of the for the vendors' Wi-Fi. Dan, do you remember it?
No, I don't. I was actually using the hotel Wi-Fi the entire time. Lindsay was using the vendor's Wi-Fi on her phone. Oh, Carl didn't see the closing ceremonies. You should probably.
You can't watch the replay on closing ceremonies.
You should probably clue him in. We had a ping here. Yeah, it's Little Miss. Okay,
I can't hear her.
she can't hear us either, is what the mime said. I heard her whisper. Yeah, basically in the closing ceremonies, Joe Dog told me to hang close in the audience when everybody else was up. All the guests and everything were up there when he's gonna make announcements for next year. And then I'm just about to sit down, and he goes, "Oh no, come on over here. Sit with at the big people table. You don't have to sit at the children's table right now." Yes, exactly. Exactly. Now I remember. I remember having seen it, and I go, "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch."
Would you believe I actually had some of the vendors come up and say, "What's the password to the vendors?"
Uh-huh. I do, because that's what you intended.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to tell Carl what happened during the closing ceremonies that he didn't see?
Oh, we announced the guest of honor, Ellie Rain, but we did it sort of like to tell the truth. I said the artist guest of honor next year is sitting here with us right now. Will the guest of honor please stand up? And everybody started wiggling in the chair. Some got about halfway up.
I remember that now. Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
what?
Nothing.
Hmm.
I just got done playing a very fun game of Cards Against Humanity with my parents.
That's a choice.
Play the fun game with my parents. What part of these two sentences? These two. What
No,
part of
parents-
this?
love
What
to
two
play-
parts of
Parents and
this
Card
sentence
Against
do not go
Humanity
together?
don't go together.
I would love to play Cards Against Humanity with my in-laws. Oh,
You'd
I
never
would
have to
love
see him
play.
again.
Now, my sister-in-laws and my brother-in-laws, no problem. They're fun. The game would go well. But my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, oh yeah. After the events of last year, oh yeah.
I just have to put up with my hair looking weird.
I would have to invent a few cards.
You can.
I know.
So everybody have a good turkey day, except for Zach.
If you
His
consider
Thanksgiving was
2.5
a month
hour
ago.
wait at Cracker Barrel, yeah. Excuse me.
Apparently the wait was worth it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Different
Uh,
Cracker Barrel, so I didn't have to wait that long.
Oh, I posted a video. I don't know if it landed in Uncle Carl's Secret Humor group or on Stupid O'Clock about the Carnation Instant Milk and Granny telling about it.
I don't remember seeing it.
Rich is
He just
going to
posted
look.
it.
I'm afraid.
I'm very afraid.
I'm on my phone in my parents' basement right now, so I don't have a,
Rich, you got to now look at who the reactor is. It's a reaction video to it.
I gotta find it. You said it was on Stupid O'Clock?
It's either Stupid O'Clock or Uncle Carl.
It was Stupid O'Clock. Donna posted it somewhere too, Carl said.
Oh, it's on Stupid O'Clock.
It helps
Donna
her
said
she's
she
going to Super
posted it
Clock.
in the
Not just my.
secret humor group.
Hi, Carl and Donna. Okay, I'm gonna take a nap now.
Oh,
Is it the reaction video, or is it just the full old lady? Rich, you still with us?
You broke them.
I will have to
Oh
watch it.
Lord!
Is
Oh Lord!
which one is it? Is it the reaction video, or is it just her, just the old lady?
It's the old lady on one side, and I'm guessing they're
Reacting to it.
yeah. It's
But doesn't the girl reacting look like Dawn?
Dawn, run while you still can.
she's not going to take the blame for this one.
maybe if she was stung by a bunch of bees and puffed up a bit.
Oh, I'm gonna kind of take that as a compliment, not knowing what I'm actually not seeing. Yeah, I said that right.
She looks like a puffier version of you in the face.
Okay, puffier version of me.
Like if this chick was stung in the face a bit and puffed up because of the bee stings, I can see a resemblance.
Okay, I will have to look at it.
Now, Rich, can you remember this? Tell everybody the line, because I'm terrible at remembering the line.
Oh God! 1 second, let me put the volume back on.
This is an old lady advertising Carnation Instant Milk.
Carnation milk, the best in the land. Comes in a tin with a red and white band. No tits to pull, no hay to pitch. Just punch 2 holes in the son of a bitch. I was laughing so hard I couldn't mute it for like 3 runs.
And believe it or not, I think I remember hearing that somewhere before.
And people wonder where I get my outspokenness from.
Dan,
that is wrong.
was that your mother?
Got a distant cousin, obviously. They're not distant enough. Pardon me while I regain my composure.
Did I freeze up or did we all quiet down?
Well, quiet it down.
How are you supposed to follow that?
Ow.
I mean,
You got to go
this ain't the green room.
I was excited. I got to go to the Furball Farm today. I got to go play with a bunch of kitty cats. They have over 400 cats there.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, did you see the little breed of dwarf cats? They got little bitty short legs like this.
Yeah.
And when they move across the floor, some guy popped in at the end of it and goes, "It's a caterpillar."
Oh, dear.
The jokes just write themselves. Why, God, why? Oh, dear.
Well, thank you, Facebook. Yeah, the show started about an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, Carl, that's even more cats than I have.
So I wasn't planning coming on here, and then I decided to, and I didn't think this through, and I'm holding my phone, and I'm tired.
We are getting a lot of very interesting angles of Dawn.
Say it, Dan. Say it.
Hell, nobody's watching anyway.
Don and Carl are. And so is Jody McPhee.
I don't care. My wife has this address. I'm not. Oh, Lord. My mom's on YouTube now. Not with a program, but she watches stuff. One of these days she's going to. I don't know if she'll ever get froggy enough to actually Google my name. But
One day you're gonna get a call.
God help me! God help me if she does. I'll be disinherited.
Carl, I'm taking the exhausted approach tonight.
It's full Titanic.
Mm-mm. Nope, but there's blue carpet in their basement. I'm laying on a blue pillow. Oh, it's been a long, long couple days.
Yes, I do remember where the definition of Rubenesque came from. Shut up, Dan.
Oh, keeps turning. Oh, hell. Ugh. Fine, I'll sit back up.
Ooh, a new angle.
This is the angle I started with.
Hey, Rich, scroll down two below the Carnation Instant Milk. Who did
robbed.
this?
I've been robbed.
You okay, Zach?
Yes. I'm pricing out sports bras. I'm getting the store ready for Black Friday in a couple of hours. We're adding new products.
I'm so glad you explained.
Yeah, I am too, because I was about to go.
I was a little
Not gonna
concerned
touch
for a minute, Zach.
It's the fighter jet. Rich.
I was just thinking, Fredericks of Hollywood is always having a sale.
The video is glitching out a hair.
We're expanding our launch array section.
Launch array.
I actually understood that pun.
Launch array. I need to go to sleep.
I really don't think I need to see those. The sports bras are okay, but the swim trunks.
Hey,
Let's just say emblem placing could have been just a little bit less obvious.
But you know what? That's why we've sold so many pairs.
Yeah, and these are things that nobody's ever going to see, except
never say never, Dan.
Hey.
Some poor EMT at a car wreck somewhere is going to go, oh my God.
We still have a few more to add. We've got Go for Launch.
This one's not urgent. Just let him die.
We're going to have a overpressurization warning sticker one and a few others.
Oh, dang.
I'm going to have to get that one pair just so I can show my wife my SLS.
Not the green room. Not the green room.
That's me standing.
Best part is those started as a joke.
Promise not to pick on Joe Dog anymore.
There's a pair that will never be released to the public that are special order only if you were there when they were made, or maybe at Green Room. That we started as a joke, and I said I was never going to put them on the real store, but we put them on Etsy. It's been our #1 product for the last 12 months on Etsy are the underwear, and we're not marketing them. It's like I'm selling like 10 pairs a month, not doing anything. It's like, okay.
That's what she said.
Carl,
Rich, you got the $20 one, $20 sign? I mean, it's $29.99, but $29.99 is $29.99.
But $20 is $20.
Consider it done, Carl. We thought it'd be fun to do like a hatch one, like open hatch, make sure level pressures before you open the hatch. There's a whole bunch of options.
I'm sorry, I can't do that, Dave.
We thought we'd do one based off of Space Camp that goes, hey, nice boosters.
And I thought my butt flap SpongeBob onesies would be a good seller.
Well, if
And
you
you
had
went to
warned them
church
first-
camp, Zach.
Yes, I did. Why do you think I can come up with this?
That's what she
That
said.
one time at church camp.
sensory deprivation.
And we now have leggings, and the leggings have pockets.
Believe it or not, that is quite popular now.
It is.
Ironically, there's my flute. It's actually my sister's. So I'm sitting right next to a flute. This one time at my parents' house.
I played my sister's flute.
Film at 11.
No filming.
Rich, you are an ordained minister, right?
Yes.
You could bow out now. I wouldn't fault you for it because I'm thinking.
Did you take the exorcism course, my son?
Actually, I do have books on exorcism.
Here we go.
Nick's not the only one that's had to work that side of the street.
I was going to say, Nick can help with that, right?
Nope.
Remember, Carl, the trumpet's back in Illinois. I got to keep them spread out.
I am so not touching that line.
Well, I play the trumpet.
Have you seen American Pie 2, Joe Dog?
No.
You should watch that sometime.
Richie, I'd like to commission a custom-made sign. It says, "They keep giving me straight lines."
That's what
Hello,
she said.
Nicholas. No, the shortest distance between any 2 points is a straight line.
Hey, Nick.
How you doing, Nick?
I only said his name once, and apparently I summoned him.
Oh,
That's how good I am.
I better behave. Somebody's coming downstairs. Oh,
Is
we
there
know what it
ice
is.
cream?
No,
Yeah.
there's no ice cream, but it is the ice cream man.
Oh,
Yeah.
what time are we leaving?
I know that song.
Nick, do you have little Nick in the car with you?
Xander.
Xander,
I'm going to
Look at me.
Oh, go ahead.
if you do, leave now. Quickly.
Because I am in rare form tonight, actually. I just wanted to stop in and say happy Thanksgiving, everybody. But I'm going to head to bed because we're going to get up and go to the frickin' Mall of America tomorrow morning.
I'm
Do
sorry.
you have to go there now to get in line?
No, not for the Lego store.
Bye, Nick.
Bye, Nick. We hate to run you off, but trust me, you don't want Xander hearing some of this stuff tonight.
Good night, Nick. Love you.
Welcome to the unofficial green room for Thursday night.
And Rich, you'll understand this. It's all fun and games till the two priests show up.
Oh, Lord.
How am I supposed to follow that up with this?
I can't even see what that is because I can't see.
It's a nice Christmas stocking.
Space Invaders?
No.
No.
I will go. No, stop.
With our previous discussion, yes, I know exactly what that is, but stocking was not the word.
What do you think? Do a small pattern? I have too many options of things I can sell. It's not a good idea.
That's what she said.
Oh, Dawn, there will be some custom-made things once I'm finished with Black Friday.
To go back to what you're saying about it's all fun and games until the two priests show up. One of my things I used to say about certain things in IT is actually even before that, back when I was still working in the factories doing the processing, the mold setting jobs, is looks like I either need to get a live chicken and voodoo priestess, or this keeps up, I'm getting a young priest and an old priest.
I was saying,
if you're on a budget, a middle-aged priest will do.
Hey, if you're on a budget, a middle-aged voodoo priestess will do too.
So, okay, guys. Well, I'm gonna head to bed.
Good night.
All right.
Good night.
Still night.
Oh, great. Now I got the damn giggles. Good night.
Good night. Rich, Dan, I screwed up.
Again?
I didn't post it today. As my yearly Thanksgiving tradition, the revised version of Alice's Restaurant.
Oh.
It's still Thanksgiving?
Not for very much longer. I just
keep control.
I knew I'd push Rich into it.
Meatloaf again?
We get all kind of riffraff in this room.
Yeah.
Eddie, get your ass off the table.
I would like you would, wouldn't you?
And Nick, oh Lord,
describe Aunt Jemima. Heavy, black, pendulous.
that was not one of the ones in Atlanta.
No, not.
Well, there was another word in there that I.
No, it was not Aunt Jemima.
Oh, Rich, there's something that I used to build the commercial haunted houses, and we went up to Dream Reapers. I'm sure you've heard of Dream Reapers.
Sounds familiar. Now, there's a place around here that should be called Reaper's Realm, so I wonder if they might have been related. But Reaper and haunted houses.
Yeah. Well, Dream Reapers also had this stuff called Sinister Sins.
Okay.
One time, it was me and the Stringers and Chris Fugit all went up to the Transworld Halloween show. And Dream Reapers opened up for, the haunters around the country to go through. all of a sudden, well, let's just say the gastric distress was strong. So I was just easing it out. And it was a little rough. I'm thinking, God, that's even strong for me. Damn. Then all of a sudden, one of the guys from Dream Reapers yells, "Hey, chill it with the flatulence. You're about to kill us back here, the sinister sense." And I went, as we get out, I said, "You know that wasn't the sinister sense they were smelling." And Chris Few goes, "Yeah, I know it was me." And I'm going, "Oh shit, me too."
A unique combination.
Yeah. But what we learned is up there, your haunted houses can hang a rebel flag, the Confederate flag, in the redneck room. We can't.
I wonder if you would still be able to do that now up here.
I don't know.
Considering all the hoopla the past few years about that.
And we can't have the hanging skeletons anymore.
Too reminiscent of lynchings?
Yep. Oh yeah,
Okay, people, it's history. You can't rewrite it. Just don't repeat it.
You can always rewrite history. Victors do it all the time.
Yep.
It's stupid.
To the victors comes the spoils. And I hate to say it, but blaming Columbus for everything is pretty much wrong because, hell, one, he was lost.
I mean, without him, we wouldn't have Gremlins. We wouldn't have the Goonies. Oh, wait, wrong Columbus.
Yeah. Oh.
That's who I celebrate on Columbus Day.
I know Zach probably doesn't watch it, but have you ever seen Colin Furs on YouTube, Rich?
Seen what?
Colin Furs from England.
Colin Furs?
Furs, Furze.
The name's familiar.
The Flaming Wall of Death on his moped. What else did he do? What's that thing in movies, Rich, that, the boom that the camera can swing on? And it's perfectly balanced.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
And, it could do spins and all that. He built one that went 50 feet tall.
Is this the dude that built his own Wolverine claws and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now he's building a secret tunnel in his.
Yeah, I've seen this.
During the pandemic, just because he was bored, he started digging a tunnel from his house to his shop, or from his shop to his house. Of course, Dan walked in like, what?
No. I left the headphones back here. I didn't hear any of that till I got back. I thought I'd actually turned the microphone off before I left, but apparently I didn't.
Yeah, this is the guy that gets bored. He's like the British Mark Rober.
Yeah.
Yep.
Without as much science background. You'll thank me for that later. Oh. I would love to see him and Mark Rober team up on something.
I'd love to see him and Mark Rober go head to head on a project.
Ooh, yes.
Who could out crazy the other? Did you see Mark Rober's stuff for Halloween this year?
Oh yeah. Take one piece.
That was a hoot.
I love the one to where the news report.
Yes.
You talk about freaking people out. Dan,
I liked the idea of the mulch man too.
oh, Mulchman, yeah, that's. But Dan, the one that was freaking people out is, he had this thing set up, video camera on it, hidden video camera, and it had these, big full size candy bars in this thing. It says take only one. Well, you know how kids are, and some adults
It
fill
was
the
on a
bag.
scale. So if it noticed that the weight of more than one was decreasing too quickly, it would do different things depending on which house it was set up at. There were a couple of houses that they were working in tandem. So the trigger was at one house, and then what would happen at another. So one of the things was it would print out a wanted poster with the picture of the kid that took too much candy, and then they would run that out, stick that outside. And then another is they would take a quick video of the kid, and they had a pre-made video feed that was built that was talking about kids in the area that were breaking the law by taking too much candy, taking more than one piece and stuff like that. And then it would be playing at another house down the block when they expect that the kid would be walking up. So some kids were sitting there watching this news feed about kids ruining Halloween for other kids, and it was a picture of them in their costumes walking up, taking more candy than they're supposed to, and walking away. Within minutes of stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Rober is an insane, beautiful bastard.
Yeah. And the collapsing table.
The candy bowl that was thing-esque. So if someone was taking too much, they would thrust their hand up. But of course, they look underneath. They don't see anything because of a mirror, even though someone was hiding underneath. The bowl that would switch and bring the candy underneath, but put toothbrushes up top. This one kid in an inflatable Pikachu costume was getting so pissed over that one because they just kept triggering it. And then the kid would walk back to it because it's candy again, and then it would flip to toothbrushes, and then he'd step back and he'd kind of look at it, and then it would flip back to the candy, and the kid would walk up to it.
Oh, they needed one that had clamshells. When the kid that got too much candy from the previous house walked up, it goes pop and closes up.
Yeah, that would be kidnapping.
Not on him, just as he was reaching. Hopefully, he wouldn't lose too many fingers. No candy for you today.
Oh, God.
No candy for you. Come back 1 year. Now go.
Oh, Lord. Even better. Get some fake candy bars. So, like, inside is like soap or something like that, and then have the bowl sitting half and half. Half is filled with the regular stuff, the other half is filled with the candy, but there's like a wall that it's sitting out of so that you could flip it real quick, and then they're picking up the candy bar soap instead of the actual candy bar.
Actually, you wouldn't need to have candy bar soap. Just the punishment half would be filled with the Turkish delight that actually tastes like soap. I have seen that critiqued on several people's video channels where they have been trying English candy, and evidently this stuff is so bad that even British people won't buy it.
That's almost as bad as a Necco wafer.
I actually saw a whole bunch of those at
Today, yeah.
Yep, at Cracker Barrel has an enormous display. It's probably 50 years old because ain't nobody dumb enough to buy that shit.
And they're almost the size of a communion wafer.
Evil prank. No, I was at one church where the communion wafers were actually oyster crackers.
Sometimes the communion bread at our church is like, leftover hot dog buns after the church picnic and stuff like that.
Well, that's one good thing about Catholics. We get real wine.
Not Welch's grape juice, yeah.
For us, it's grape juice and some flavor of bread.
Yeah, you know the story why it is Welch's grape juice?
No.
Reverend Welch.
Oh. Okay.
Had developed the pasteurization process for grape juice to keep it from turning to wine and needed a way to sell it.
Oh. And there's actually a Welch's dehydrated grape juice packet, a brick, that was being sold during Prohibition that had instructions printed on it. Do not put this in a gallon of water and set it aside for a month because it will turn into wine, which is illegal. Sold like hotcakes during Prohibition.
Well, I've heard stories that my grandfather used to work at a pharmacy and would make deliveries on his Indian motorcycle.
So he's the original Indian giver?
No, he was making deliveries for Mom.
The kind the revenuers didn't like.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this was during the 20s.
Extra special delivery. Is Mom here? Yeah.
That's a cracker.
I have heard stories that Mama was busted, but the Hamilton County Sheriff let her go for 2 weeks to bring him something.
All right.
And Dan, you've tasted it.
Yep. Smooth, real smooth. Just an old family recipe served with 7 herbs and spices.
So, do what?
Served with 7 herbs and spices.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I saw something that it was an interview with Colonel Sanders in front of the first Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Ooh, talk about a gunfighter.
Yeah, it used to be his house.
Yeah.
He bought a gas station to live in, or somehow ended up living in a gas station, converted to a house. And every day they'd make 13 meals and sell them to the truck drivers and the travelers that came through. And if they didn't uh, sell all the meals, they had something to eat that night. So
Good
eventually,
night, Carl.
good night, Carl. And eventually, the business got so popular that he had to turn the living room into a dining room and expand his kitchen. What happened?
What do you mean, what happened?
Bucky Claus just moved.
You weren't supposed to see that. They're here.
Oh, Dan, you do see what's hanging over my thing right there, don't you? Next to Bucky Claus?
I'm sorry, I don't look at your thing. I see a Spider-Man back there.
Between Spider-Man and Bucky Claus.
Looks like a brown. Well, whatever it is, it's brown and it's going into a black valise.
And it's rolled up underneath it with green and gold. And it's about 7 foot long.
Yeah, you may get other people to believe that, but
When did you buy a ball python?
oh, okay. He got one of the short ones.
You recognize it now, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, I couldn't see anything but a stripe of brown, so yes, I'm quite familiar with that garment. I have
I'm-
one myself.
I may actually wear it this winter.
Hey. And the one I've got is actually 14 feet long.
Is it 14 feet?
Yep, that's the original with that pattern. The one that was kind of crimson and white was a different length, and they actually made one as a gag that was you could have used it to climb down from a 2-story window and reach the ground without having to drop and catch yourself. Lindsay found a lady in England that was actually making them to the official pattern. So the one I've got is hand knitted, and it is made by a British lady, and it is quite extensive in acreage.
Yeah,
And Tom
that
Baker
is.
would be proud of it.
That it was made off the BBC pattern, but it was made by a friend in Arizona.
Hey, lots of different knitters out there. And
somebody asked, she handed it to me at LibertyCon.
Oh, really?
And I was like, yeah. And somebody goes, is that a, I went, who made it? And I pointed at her. And they looked at her and said, and she goes, never.
It is a complicated pattern because you guys keep switching colors back and forth and make sure they all get tied together.
And wasn't the story that they just handed the lady a bunch of yarn and says, make us a scarf?
Exactly. Yeah.
So she used all
The
yarn.
yarn.
And it was almost shooting day when she got it to them. It was like,
that is why Tom Baker's first scarf was 14 feet long. And people just ran with it after that. I mean, seriously. Well, I'm not going down the hallway, but I'm going to go further because
you got 4 minutes.
I would like some 10-year-old Irish whiskey.
All right. Well, you got about 4 minutes, so hurry up.
Well, I mean, you can end the show without me if I'm not back in time.
Do you want me to go have yours set up ready to go?
Oh, that's right. Well, let me do that. Here I go.
Forgot about that part.
Well, no, I used to have them both set up at the same time, but my internet is so variable in quality that sometimes it's just garbage.
Well,
so,
Dan, I can set it up. I mean, I can open it up and push play because you got like a minute and a half after I hit play.
Go ahead. I'm ready. I mean, it's open. All I got to do is go and grab a glass and a bottle and
go do what you got to do.
All right. And just in case, thank you everybody, and we'll see you on the other side.
All right. Oh, so Rich, clowns on the left, jokers on the right.
Thankfully, not real clowns because I am chlorophobic. Which makes me friends with Joe. I can never pronounce it correctly. The spelling is like chlorophobic or something like that. But it's the fear of clowns.
Okay. Well, a valid fear.
With Joe Bachman actually being a clown makes it kind of interesting being friends with him.
What is he, a Shriner clown or?
No, I think it's something he used to do in high school and just after. So he used to actually do some professional clowning.
Oh, okay. Well, with that,
a magic store.
With that, we got to say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.
Oh, son of a gun. You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you?